This video is sponsored by a random drunk guy. Why are you looking at me? It is. It really is. And because of that, if you're only here for the drops, please just go check the timestamps in the description. I don't want to get my video disliked just because I was rambling for like 5 minutes straight. Seriously, if you're only here for the drops, just check the timestamps, please. In a world with whiskey on the line, one man will set out to slay the most prime of evils, Diablo. 500 times. That would be me. So, y'all ready for a stupid story? Here goes nothing. Less than 2 weeks ago, a subscriber of mine left a comment on one of my Diablo 2 videos asking me to do 500 Diablo runs. Now, before I tell you what I told him, here's a little bit of context. Do you remember the 1000 pit runs video? The one where I didn't even do 1000 runs because I was too lazy, so I did something like 650-ish. That took me around 4 months. Now, remember the cows 500 runs video I promised you back in September? Yeah, I'm not done yet. So, you can imagine what I told him. Damn, that this guy was persistent. He's like, come on, dude, don't be a pussy. And I'm like, fuck off, I have a life. I'll give you a bottle of whiskey costing 280 bucks. Alright, let's do it. Woman, I'll be gone for a few weeks. So yeah, that was the challenge. If I do 500 Diablo runs video in under 2 weeks, I got a bottle of sweet, smooth, smoky 18-year-old Macallan. Since clearly I've done that, what I would like to ask of you, my loyal borderline fanatic subscribers who clearly enjoy harassing other people, can we start pay up, Ken? Just to make sure that I get my bottle of whiskey. You know, a little bit of public shaming never hurt nobody. Shame. Shame. Now then, I know you all already want to get into the drops, but trust me, you don't. Let's get all the technical details out of the way first. So, this is the sorceress I was using for these runs. She's currently level 93. As for the gear, it's pretty standard hardcore stuff. We have Heart of the Oak, we have Mage Fist, Stone of Jordan, Arachnid Mesh, Raven Frost. It's kind of a hardcore-y thing for some extra block. Viper Magi for 105% faster cast rate. Shaco, obviously, a nice crafted amulet with some resistances, magic find, and faster cast rate. Storm Shield, once again, hardcore stuff, and War Travelers for the magic find because I had my resistances maxed out. So the only noteworthy mentions are probably Shale runes in both Viper Magi and Shaco, because with those two coupled with a few small charms for faster hit recovery, I was able to hit 60% faster hit recovery breakpoint. All the other small charms were pretty much magic find, allowing me to hit just slightly over 200 magic find, 232% to be exact. As for my mercenary, he was using Lawbringer, my favorite weapon probably, for some additional safety, which I consider pretty massive, especially in Chaos Sanctuary, which is extremely heavy on undead. My main source of damage is of course Blizzard at roughly 4k damage, which isn't too massive, but I kind of have 0 cold skillers. My secondary source of damage is Fireball, just a tad short from 5k. Once again, I have 0 fire skillers. As you can see, my health pool isn't too big, it's not even 2k, but I do have over 50% block. It's pretty standard hardcore stuff. As for the skills, I have Fireball and Firebolt maxed out, 1 extra point into Fire Mastery just because I had it left over, and the rest of them went into cold skills. That's the stuff I was using, and the runs themselves were done as fast as possible. The challenge was only to kill sealed bosses. The exception was last 20 runs where I cleared all the boss packs in both River of Flame and Chaos Sanctuary, but compared to the other 480, that's pretty negligible. Except in terms of pain. Let me tell you something, when you're doing 500 runs in a single week, those extra few minutes just to clear those extra few bosses It's just fucking excruciating. A few other key things worth mentioning is that my runtime was around 2 minutes 20 seconds, and the only thing that could have helped me increase my runtime significantly was Infinity, as there was a massive difference in runtime when Lord Deceased or Infector of Souls were dual immune to both fire and cold, and when they weren't. Probably a full minute difference, which is like a 50% runtime increase. Maybe a mercenary with Reaper's Soul would have killed him slightly faster, but to be honest, if not for Lawbringer, I would have died at least a couple of times, I think, if trying to maintain such a high run speed. Other than that, all runs were done on players 1 and then killing Diablo on players 3 for some extra experience and drops. The only exception was first 20 runs and last 20 runs, where I did the whole runs on players 3 with Diablo on player 7. The difference in runtime was easily twice, so if you ever consider undertaking a similar challenge, just do players 1. Lastly, I was getting around 500,000 experience per run. You can easily say that most of it was from Diablo. And that's it for technicalities, so we can finally get into the good part you've all been waiting for, which is the GG drops. Or so I would like to be saying, but unfortunately the drops have been pretty shitty, so there's not much even to review. Like, honestly, if this was something less than 500 Diablo runs, I'm not even sure I would be making this video. The drops were that bad. But since I already went through all of that pain of gathering all the timestamps, and there's like over 40 of them, I kind of feel like I have to show them. So what I will do with these OK-ish drops is I'll just show them very quickly all at once. And then we'll actually move on to the good ones. Alright, so here are all the drops. A couple of Oculus, a couple of Dracols, a couple of String of Ears, a couple of Burizas, a couple of Titans, a couple of Demon Limbs, and then some random drops like Demon's Arc, Ethereal Viper Magi, Talrasha Lidless Eye. Actually that was a pretty nice roll. Anyway, Ethereal Ormus, not too badly rolled either, but you know, it's fucking ethereal. Ethereal Thunderstrokes, Yeeds, Storm Shield, Jalal's Mane, Razor's Tail, Rising Sun Amulet, Atmoscarb, I guess this is pretty rare, and a few OK-ish Killers, and finally Leviathans. Oh, and finally a couple of mid-range. Oh, and finally forgot Marowaks. And a Shooters. Actually pretty nice roll, might be my best one. Now that we've got all the shitty drops out of the way, let's get into the few that were actually noteworthy drops. First one took almost 100 runs. Oh, and Dariel's Helm. That's a good drop. That's no... Oh, that's an ethereal one. That's a pretty good drop. That's a pretty good drop. I'm not sure whether it rolled nicely. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Ethereal and Dariel's Helmet. An overall nice helmet for mercenaries for the 20% increased attack speed, making Ethereal mod even better. 122 runs in, got myself a cold facet. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 5 to cold skill damage. It's pretty good. Nice. A pretty nice one with +5 and -3. And since for cold skills it's all about the plus damage, the minus resistances don't really matter much, it's pretty good. Good enough for my shitty Depths Fathom at least. 152 runs in, the only somewhat of a high rune dropped, which was a Vex. Because oh shit, that's a good drop, that's a good drop, that's a good drop. That's a good drop. Oh yeah, baby. Vex Stream. There we go. Run number 2, run number 2. Exactly halfway into the runs, so at 250, a Boss Lady dropped. I mean, to this day, it's still baffling. Oh, come on, woman, get the fuck out of here. Woman, I'm in the middle of some serious business over here. Woman, if I'm gonna die because of you right now, you'll be making me fucking dinner for the rest of my life. Oh god. Are you a worm, woman?
Yes, I am. Look, a tinea. Give me a tinea.
I don't care if it's boring. I got a whiskey to win. Come on, woman. There's actually a lot of footage like this. You're scaring my viewers. There are a bunch of versions you have never heard of a woman's voice in their life. You're fucking scaring them. So while editing this video, I just thought to myself, I should make a separate video for it. I can already imagine it being called like the life of a streamer when you're married to a 13-year-old. But that's for another time. Let's get back to the drops. 309 runs in, one of the every Diablo 2 player's all-time favorite item dropped. The lovely green hat Shaco. Shaco. That's a GG drop. 375 runs was one of the best and yet one of the most disappointing drops. It was a skiller with a whopping 38 health, though unfortunately it's for Paladin offensive auras. But it's a fucking shitty offensive auras, but it's still pretty fucking good. Oh man, I'm so fuck. Is this good or is this shit? It's so close to being so fucking epic. On the one hand, the life is amazing. On the other one, offensive. So close to being truly epic drop. 418 runs in, a unique ring, and finally something that didn't roll Manals or Nages. Was actually Carrion's Wind. That's a pretty nice find. Carrion Wind. How about that? It is 473 runs, was the second last drop, and it was Verdungo's. Not amazingly rolled, but it's fairly hard to find an item. That's a good drop. That's a good drop. That's a good drop. It rolled like shit, just like every single other time, but it's a good drop. I'm going to note that down. Now the last noteworthy drop is actually yet to drop, because on run 500 I was supposed to drop a smoky, smoothie 18-year-old Macallan. That was the challenge, 500 runs for a bottle of whiskey. It does sound pretty sad when I put it like that. But pay up Ken? I've done my part through thick and thin, through sweat and blood. It was excruciating, but I did it. Funnily enough though, after my last run, what I said on stream was this. So, hope you folks enjoyed this fucking torture. Oops, wrong clip. Here's what I actually said. I will be honest though, guys, like, I was enjoying this far too much. It was extremely painful, don't get me wrong, but I did feel some sort of a, I don't know, like a good kick in the butt. That, you know, I finally have to make some Diablo 2 content, like, you know, there's something on the line here. And you know what? I still feel that way. It was a nice little push to get my lazy ass to make some Diablo 2 content, because I've been sincerely slacking the past couple of months. So, finally did that, it feels pretty good, and I think I want to finish this video on such a positive note. So, thank you all for watching, hope you all have a lovely day, and see you guys in the comment section. Oh, and one last time, pay up Ken. Hey, this sounds just like you smashing that subscribe button after seeing this video. Alright, let's do it. Woman, I'll be gone for a few weeks. Jesus fucking Christ, eu te dou. Нет. Тришка.
Аж на моку, вот так и на моку, вот так.